Hello everyone, and welcome. I hope you're all doing well today. This video is being made to specifically address the GMS Israelites. After I recently released a video that exposed radical Hebrew Israelites and their street tactics, members of the GMS took it upon themselves to wage a campaign against me. They accused me of attacking the entire movement, and when I refused to back down, they produced a series of videos they referred to as reactions. However, these reactions, as they called them, neither addressed the actual content of my videos nor established any of the slander they directed toward me. Instead, I was subjected to racial discrimination and accused of being a liar. I was threatened with promises of being enslaved upon my death, labeled a heathen, and was even promised to be cursed with syphilis. What is even more striking is that certain members, such as GMS the Basics 1343, actually admitted upon watching my video that I made a clear separation between mainstream Israelites and never mentioned the GMS by name. Yet this did not stop him from making a series of videos calling me hateful and a liar according to his racist theology. In response to these transgressions, I am declaring here and now that I will be conducting public investigations into the GMS group. I intend to do deep dives into their videos, react to their content, and create detailed presentations that I will convert into video format. I did not seek conflict with them. They decided to initiate this conflict with me, and then they ran when it did not go their way. To the GMS, you wanted this fight, and you shall have it. But it will not be in the manner you wish. There will be no lies on my end. I will not avoid addressing your material as you avoided addressing mine. The world will see you for what you are and make their own judgment. I will simply be the one presenting the information. I want to direct your attention to a specific PDF document that I have linked in the description below. This document provides critical context for what we are about to discuss. According to the details within this report, the Great Millstone, commonly known as GMS, is a highly visible sect within this movement. They are well documented for their street preaching and their significant digital presence. Online, GMS is specifically known for their radical rhetoric. When you understand the nature of that rhetoric, it explains exactly why they had such a strong negative reaction to my exposure of their tactics. They operate with a specific methodology that depends on a certain level of control over the narrative, a narrative that I challenged. However, there's a profound irony at play here. If the members of GMS had simply said nothing, they wouldn't be receiving this level of scrutiny right now. Up until they launched their campaign, neither myself nor my audience were focused on them specifically. By choosing to attack and engage, they have brought a spotlight upon themselves that they weren't prepared for. They've essentially created the very investigation they're now trying to run from. As a matter of fact, the GMS is so radical that they not only describe themselves as a more authentic and hardcore version of Hebrew Israelite ideology, but they actively criticize other groups for being too moderate. That fact alone proves they possess a militant nature. They aren't just practicing a faith. They are positioning themselves as an extreme vanguard, looking down on anyone who doesn't share their level of aggression. Unsurprisingly, this group also firmly believes in and supports the eventual enslavement of white people when Jesus Christ returns. Now, while this isn't a surprise, given the rhetoric we have already heard from them, it raises a fundamental moral question. How could someone claim to be holy and divine, and yet willingly and feverishly hope for the oppressive enslavement of other people? This contradiction is at the heart of their movement. It's one thing to speak of justice or restoration, but it is another thing entirely to build a theology centered on the feverish hope of subjecting others to the very oppression they claim to abhor. We have to look at what this says about the spirit of the organization itself. Amusingly, the GMS is also constantly getting banned on YouTube for their hate speech, but they have a workaround They just keep making backup channels. Think about that for a second. How pathetic must it be to spend your time constantly fighting algorithms just to express yourself, when your ideology is so hateful that a platform designed for broad expression cannot tolerate you? That should tell you something. Of course, the GMS will play the victim. They will frame every ban and every strike as an attack on them, even though their entire intent, their whole digital presence, is designed to attack other people. It's a classic redirection tactic. Don't fall for the bullshit, people. They're not victims. They are the aggressors. When you see them hopping from channel to channel, don't see it as a struggle for truth. See it for what it is, a group so committed to hostility that they've been rejected by the mainstream, yet they still lack the self-awareness to realize they're the ones initiating the conflict. Now it is time to talk about the most ironic and well-deserved exposure of all. The GMS is not only rejected by civil rights organizations such as the Southern Poverty Law Center, or SPLC for short, and the Anti-Defamation League. These organizations have explicitly labeled the GMS as a black nationalist hate group because they target white people, the Jewish community, and the LGBT community. But the most ironic fact of all is not just that the GMS rejects this label. It's how they justify it. They frame their vitriol as a righteous response to historical oppression. The GMS, a group that firmly believes they will all become slave owners after death, actually dares to lecture about oppression. This cognitive dissonance tells us exactly what they really mean. They aren't truly angered by oppression, nor do they believe systemic harm based on race is a bad practice. They are simply mad they cannot do it themselves in this world. They maximize the hate and harm they can do now so that they can be even worse in an afterlife, treating it as their ultimate reward for being the most hateful, oppressive, and uneducated group on earth. They see ignorance not as a problem, but as something they should be proud of and rewarded for later. Don't be fooled by the rhetoric. Look at the destination they're actually aiming for. Well, folks, I hope you all found this video informative and entertaining. I will be providing a link to the document in the description below, so be sure to check that out for the full context and evidence. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.